welcome back to another Throwback Thursday, Remembering Forgotten Memories episode. So, I was trying to think of what I wanted to tell today for today's story time. I got it. I had forgotten all about this. I don't even know what the fuck reminded me of it, but I think it's been enough years since it happened to where I probably won't get in trouble for admitting it now, but I'm gonna tell you guys about the time I popped a bouncy house. Oh yes. Oh yes. Like a full-on, full-sized fucking bouncy house. So, I was probably like 14 or 15, given the pair of shoes involved in this incident. Granted, a very immature 14 or 15, and a very undersized 14 or 15. Like, my youngest sister, there's like a picture of me, infamous, at like 12 years old, like playing on a playground, like on some monkey bars. I asked her, hey, how old do you think I am in that picture? She's like, I don't know, like 4, and I'm like, fuck you, bitch, I'm 12. So just to give you a point of reference of how teeny tiny undersized I was at 14 or 15, also the fact that in high school, when I started, that also happened to be the same time as we had one of those, like, promoted, like, skipped a bunch of grades kids in there who was, like, 11, but attending high school. Everybody assumed it was me because I was so friggin' tiny. Yeah, no, that bitch was hella fucking tall and had, like, a deep-ass voice. I'm like, how's that fair? How the fuck is that fair? But anyway, that is not the point of this story. So, my cousin Jacqueline, it had to have been her birthday party for the time of year, because this was summer. And out of her siblings, she is the only one with a summer birthday. I think out of my cousins in general, she is the only one with a summer birthday. And this was at my Uncle Jack's house. And for her birthday party, one of the things they had set up was a bouncy house. I mean, she had to have been, like, little, because if I was 14 or 15, that would have made Kimmy, like, a year or two old. So I think that would make Jacqueline about 3, which checks out for what I'm remembering of this. Oh, God. And it was, like, set up in their backyard. They had this gorgeous, huge backyard. I mean, it was, like, perfect for something like that. And they had, like, a gazillion kids over for the frickin' party. Like, it was insane how many kids they had there for that. And, like, they were taking shifts of how many kids were allowed in the bouncy house at a time to jump in there. And for most of the day, all was fine with that, and really wasn't an issue, to the point where the adults kind of stopped paying that close of attention to it. And as they stopped paying attention to it, the bigger kids kept progressively sneaking into it more and more and roughhousing more and more, until my cousin Brittany and I were like, fuck it, we're going in. So, she's like 3 years younger than me, but was already like a foot taller than me by this point, and probably weighed at least twice as much as me, so just, again, point of reference. We were like, yeah, we're going in there. Now, most of the kids that had been going in there had been keeping their shoes on. Granted, they were wearing things like sneakers. Sneakers aren't gonna hurt a bouncy house. Your girl here had chunky-ass fucking heels. Like, late 90s, early 2000s, chunky ass heels. I might even still have that pair of shoes somewhere still. They were like baby blue, like pearlescent baby blue, strappy sandal heels, about this tall of heels. Because at that point in time, all I wore was heels, because I was so fucking short. I was like, any extra help I can get, I will take. And I believe they were even like platform heels to boot. So I was just like, I had like this mental image. I don't know why it was making me think Austin Powers, but for some unfucking known reason, I had like this awesome mental image of like jumping around and shit in there and like trying to strike Austin Powers-esque poses, although I guess it would have been like Felicity poses in reality, but neither here nor there. But, because I was, like, imagining my heels kind of like her big old go-go boot heels. I mean, it's a stretch, I understand, but I mean, this was the logic going through my head. My cousin was keeping her shoes on, but she was not wearing heels. These heels had very pointy, sharp corners on the front edges of the chunky heels. You see where this is going. Oh, you see where this is going. And I think I knew in my head that this is a horrible idea going in there with those on. But on the same token, my cousin was like, oh, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Leave them on. You'll fall around if you don't keep your shoes on, even though... Wouldn't I be standing more risk of injury keeping strappy platform chunky-heeled sandals on, jumping in a bouncy house to... I'm probably going to, at the very least, twist my ankle. At the very worst, probably stab someone or something with said heels. Yeah, hindsight's always 20/20, but in that moment, I was not thinking clearly, and this was, like, in the time frame where I had just very recently been put on Paxil and was impulsive as fuck, and, like, basically any semblance of better judgment, any inhibition about literally anything at all, the whole time I was on that med, was out the fucking window. Is why I'm so hesitant to ever go on depression meds ever the fuck again, because of how that one made me. Only time in my life I've ever been that impulsive and just stupid, and it's really unfortunate that it had to line up with my teen years, because, like, I'm not even sure which one to blame for sure, but given this only lasted while I was on that, started and ended with that, pretty sure I can blame it on the meds, but anyway. Yup. Did not take long at all. The best part, I never actually heard the pop. I didn't even see the rip where it happened. Just all of a sudden, I became aware of the walls are coming down. Why are the walls coming, Brittany, why are the walls coming down? She's like, oh, fuck. So you best believe we bailed on that shit hella fast before it came down all the way and got as far the fuck away across the yard as we could. We wanted to be seen nowhere near the scene of the damn crime. We did not want anything to be done with it. See, if this had happened at their current house, we'd be toast. Because now my uncle has like 13 or 14 cameras all around the perimeter of his house for every angle of everything in his front yard, backyard, side yard. We'd have been toast. But not back then. So, somehow, someway, our bitch asses got away with this. This got pinned on the little kids. Well, not the littlest ones, but some of the bigger little kids who had been roughhousing that the adults knew were roughhousing, but they figured, it'll be fine. Yeah, it got pinned on them. Oopsie. We were not the fuck about to admit we did that. Specifically, I was not about to admit I did that. Because bouncy houses aren't cheap. I did not have the kind of money to replace that. I was just like, oh shit. We're so fucked. I think we were even like trying to devise a plan of, hey, do you think we could fucking climb this tree and hop the fence over to the neighbor's yard and just like hide out over there until it all blows over? And somehow this plan seemed okay in our heads until I realized neither one of us could climb a fucking tree in her yard. I can climb some trees, but not the ones in her yard, but, I think we, like, ended up hiding out down the side alley and, like, playing with her rabbits or something, and just, like, tried to be as inconspicuous as possible, and then bold-faced fucking lied about it when the adults asked us if we saw what happened. I forget who exactly we pinned the blame on. It wasn't any one of our relatives, it was just, like, some random kid who had been there. I feel really bad in hindsight, but at the time, just like, him, that little fucker right there. We watched it go down. He was wrestling in there with like 3 other kids. Oh my god. Yeah, we saw him rip that shit. Yeah. He took the fall. It was not fair. I feel really bad, but yeah, that was definitely me and my stupid heels. And the best part, I don't think they ever found out. I don't think they did. And at this point, I think it's enough years down the line to where it really doesn't matter, but don't tell anybody. It's okay, that part of my family doesn't watch this channel. If it were my other side of the family, they all watch it. But that whole faction of the family, they don't really pay attention to what the fuck I do, so it's cool. Oh god, I think it's like only my cousin and I, who were both involved in this, are like the only ones who knew. And it was one of those things that was just like an unspoken thing between us of we never speak of this ever again. We'll play dumb if it's ever brought up. Ever. And it legit never ever got brought up again. That's why I totally forgot about it. Until there was like something with like a bouncy house on it. I was like, I have my forgotten memories video for this week, because oh my god, I have a story. I have a story for you guys. And yes, true story. Unfortunate story, but true story. So, you can at least laugh at, I would say my misfortune, but it wasn't really so much my misfortune as it was like the poor kid who was made the scapegoat's misfortune. Anyway, that is about it for that story. Oh god, I told you, we were terrible children. Terrible, terrible fucking children. But anyways, that is it for this one, guys. So as usual, you know what to do. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. If you're not already and you'd like to be, click subscribe. Hit that notification bell icon so you never miss an upload. Leave comments down below. Make sure you're following my social media accounts, my Facebook fan page, my Twitter, my Instagram, my Etsy, everything and more. It's all down below. And if you like what I do here on this channel and you'd like to help support it, the donation link, as always, is down in the description. Anyway, guys, till next time. Bye!